I'm delighted to say that the Out of the Wings Festival returns to the Omnibus Theatre this month, and here to tell us all about it are William Gregory and Professor Catherine Boyle. Welcome to you both.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having us. It's just so good to be back. Really great.
Yeah, it's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having us here.
So what happened last year?
Well, there was a pandemic.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that. Was that in the paper?
Yeah, I think you can find information about it on the internet. And we'd programmed the festival. We'd arranged with the Omnibus round about this time last year. We have had these 6 amazing plays from 6 countries, by 6 playwrights, translated by 6 amazing translators. We were all ready to go. I think we were even online. Is that right? We were online with the website. And then, unfortunately, what happened, and we had to put everything on hold. But finally, a year later, at long last, we were able to bring these plays to people, which we're just so thrilled about.
That must have felt quite gutting, Catherine.
It was gutting because it was going to be our 5th festival. And it felt very special to have done this festival 5 times and to have created a continuity. And it felt particularly special to be back at the Omnibus Theatre, which would have been our 2nd time there. So we were all really looking forward to it because we'd created a great community at the Omnibus Theatre. We'd created a great relationship with them, and we just felt it was really good to be back there, and getting to know their audience and bringing different people into their theatre and to our work. So it was gutting, it really was. But at the same time, you know, we were so much part of a bigger community that was suffering the same and worse. So we found ways to carry on, which is the important thing.
So what is the Out of the Wings Festival?
Out of the Wings is a collective. We've become a collective, and our role is, or what we want to do, is to make the theatre of the Spanish and Portuguese-speaking worlds known to an English-speaking audience. So as the collective, we've been together since about 2015 now, and we work to translate plays and to get them out to different audiences in all sorts of different ways. There's a group of about 12 core people who run it, who work together. We work together very closely. And the main thing we do during the year, and this is what kept us going over the last 18 months, is we meet every month and very simply read a play in translation by people that have come to us with plays from all over the Spanish and Portuguese-speaking world, and we talk about that play. And in that way, we've been able to create a really international community, haven't we?
Yeah, we discovered Zoom just like everybody else did. And we used to meet once a month in a group, in person, in a room. And we've been doing it online now ever since, and because of that our community's grown and grown. We've engaged with so many different people here in the UK and around the world, and those meetings every month are sort of the backbone of our activity, so that we can encounter new plays throughout the year, so that when we put the festival together at the Omnibus, we've got a big selection of plays to choose from. And so I always think of the festival as sort of like our flagship event, sort of big standout event that we do in the summer, but we're really, really busy all year round. And like many theatre companies during the pandemic, we've been trying to keep doing work and creating content and entertainment and so on and so forth online. And that's been really valuable. I think it's made us. I think it's made us a sort of a stronger community of people, so that now we're back in a room, hopefully with an audience together. It's not that there's been a total stop of activity for a year. We're sort of still continuing to build on all the work we've been doing throughout the year.
So you mentioned all the work that was done for last year. Does that mean that this year is in fact last year's?
Yes, yeah, this year is last year.
Like the Euros, it's 2020. Right. It's the 2020 festival.
Yeah, don't start getting me really confused about that, because I won't be able to carry on speaking. But yeah, we made the decision to take the plays that we had chosen for last year's festival and bring them into this year's festival. Mm-hmm. We had lots of plans at different times to have a longer festival, etc., but we didn't. And that's actually been very valuable, because it's kept the relationship with the translators, with the writers of those plays, and it's really special to be able to share them now, and really to show that the relationships that we create around the world carry on at this time. So yes, it's last year's festival this year. And I think we're probably even more excited that it's happening in a strange sort of way.
Yeah, and I think as well, although like everyone, we feel the world has changed a lot over the past year and a half. But what these plays are talking about, they're talking about ideas and stories that actually, in many ways, they don't age really. There are some really big ideas in these plays. They're talking about. They're talking about gender, they're talking about teen angst, they're talking about crime and punishment, they're talking about the weight of history. Some of the plays are really intimate, sort of about talking about like the inside of our own private worlds. Some of the plays are sort of imagining going out to the farthest reaches of the universe. There's comedy, there's tragedy, there's realism, there's absurdism, sometimes all at the same time. And it's been great to be working with them again and what's the word, sort of lighting the flame under them again and bringing them back, because they really feel, I don't know, they feel just as alive and exciting to me as they did when we were first encountering them and putting the 2020 festival together.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that happens when you go back to plays like that, they take on a different shape and different meaning, and you start thinking, actually they mean something different now, and they relate to our circumstances in very particular ways. So I think that's one of the lovely things about translation and about theatre, that things come alive in the moment that you do them. So I think, bringing them forward now is going to be really interesting.
My guests are William Gregory and Catherine Boyle. We're talking about the Out of the Wings Festival, and we'll talk some more after this.